We continue on the 2021 season previews with the Vancouver Canucks, a team who surprisingly made it to the second round. Well, at least it surprised me because I had them going out in the first round to St. Louis. But yeah, they lost to Vegas in 7 games. They put up a pretty good fight, and they went out and they lost a lot of people to free agency, mainly the Calgary Flames, and they gained a few guys back. And I think this team, although they lost a lot of their players, they still have a deep team, and I'm still excited for their future. I think Jim Benning has done a good job building this Canucks team. I know he's been criticized a ton, and people want him to get fired. And yeah, he's made some bad moves. I'll give him that. But he has done a pretty good job. They got a lot of young players, Pettersson, Hughes, all those good guys. I think this team has an exciting future. So let's get into what happened last season for the Vancouver Canucks and what can still happen and what will happen in 2020-21 as it starts up in just 9 days. So yeah, let's get into that from my perspective, of course. First off, if you're new to the channel, if you could consider subscribing, that would mean a lot to me as well. As of right now, we are a quarter away from 700, so 25 subscribers away, which has been amazing. We've been gaining, like 2 or 3 or 4 subs a day. Really depends on which team I'm making previews for. And, the previews have been doing pretty well as well. One of them has almost 500 views. Another has, a lot of them have over 100. I think 2 or 3 of them have just over 200. So it's been amazing how much views we're getting on the previews, and I can't wait to keep making more of them. And, we're almost done. After this team, we only have 3 teams left. And, I feel it's like I've been making these for years, even though I've been making them for, only a month? Everything with that. And then I'll start making standing predictions and all that good stuff. And then I'll start reviewing games each night after every season. Or when I can, because, school and everything that's busy. I haven't really announced my plans for 2020-21. But, I gotta balance it along with school. And I'll basically be going as I go. I'm not going to be making a schedule where I'm going to stream one night and stream the other night. If I can stream, I'll stream. If I can't stream, I can't stream. I'll review games when I can. It's basically, really, in all honesty, it's just a competitive thing with school. So, Anyways, getting off topic, let's get into what happened last season with the Vancouver Canucks. And really, in all honesty, it was an interesting one. So last season now for the Vancouver Canucks was, above all, not that bad of a season. 69 games played in a shortened season, 36 wins, 27 losses, and 6 overtimes for 78 points. They were 17th in the NHL. They were in a very competitive Pacific Division, which really, in all honesty, it was Arizona, it was Edmonton, it was Calgary, Vegas, and Vancouver as the 5 teams there. And they all ended up making it. There was a California teams, but they weren't doing too well. So, you had all those guys, and I think everyone was first in their division at one point. I remember Vegas was first place a lot. Edmonton was first place a lot. Calgary was first place a lot. Arizona was even first place, which as a Coyotes fan, that's just unimaginable. But, didn't really last long. And yeah, Vancouver finished 17th in the NHL, which forced them to play the Minnesota Wild in the play-in rounds. Amazingly, the Wild were second last in their division, and they made the playoffs. Yeah, I'm just showing you how insane the play-in rounds were. They beat them in the play-in round of 4 games. Pretty much just made a joke with them, honestly. Minnesota destroyed them in 3 Minnesota destroyed them 3-0 in Game 1. Might have been Game 2, I'm pretty sure. And, Vancouver pretty much right after that was like, nope, we're shutting this down. And they pretty much made a mockery of the Minnesota Wild. So, give props to them for that. They emotionally beat the St. Louis Blues in the first round in 6 games. Another really hard-fought and really good series, too. A lot of things were shown in that series. We talked about the Blues a few videos back and how interesting their team was. And yeah, it was just a great team all in all for Vancouver. They put up a lot of fight. Troy Stetcher there as well. His team looked great in the first round. And then you move on to the second round, where I watched the second round more than I did the first round. I'll admit that. Vegas outplayed them. I think you can say that right now. I think the same way of Vegas is the same way I thought of New York. New York outplayed Philadelphia. Vegas outplayed Philadelphia. Vegas outplayed Vancouver. So, Thatcher Demko comes in there in Game 5 and Game 6, pretty much just back-to-back stops and gets the Vancouver Canucks to a Game 7. He played pretty good in Game 7, too, and then he just was made a joke of by Vegas. The Canucks got schooled. Honestly, I thought Demko was the best player in that entire series, even though he only played 3 out of the 7 games. He was the best player in that whole series. And yeah, and their offseason was pretty dramatic. They lost a lot of depth. They lost a lot of rental guys who came in there to really push this team on a run. And it sucks, but it had to happen. The key departures list for the Vancouver Canucks consists of a total of, I think I count 4 players here. Well, including Louis Domingue, who I didn't actually include on the list. Goaltender Jacob Markstrom. They lost him as well. Big, good goaltender there. Been in Vancouver for a long time. Defenseman Chris Tanev. So they lost a lot of defenders who will probably be pretty key losses. But they did need to make room for their young guys coming up. Troy Stecher as well. I'm kind of shocked that they let him go. I thought Troy Stecher had such a great story in Vancouver. I thought Jim Benning was bound to re-sign him to at least a 1-year contract. And no, they let him go. So I was like, oh, okay then. They also lost forward Tyler Toffoli, who was really just a rental, in all honesty. I don't really know what else you can make out of that, but Toffoli was a rental. And then you also lost Josh Levo to the Calgary Flames, aka free agency. Levo was injured for a lot there, so that really wasn't the biggest deal in the world. But it sucks that he couldn't really develop in Vancouver. But I think he will definitely develop in Calgary. So I'm pretty proud of Calgary picking up a lot of these guys from Vancouver. But losing these guys was pretty bad, and they kind of had an underrated offseason in the key arrival section too. I thought the guys that they got were actually pretty good additions. But yeah, their key arrivals list consists of, I have this guy in a question mark because he's currently on a PTO, or a pro tryout. Hi, Jersey. Dogs in the room. Travis Hamonic. Travis Hamonic is a defender. He got opted out of the playoffs last season, so he didn't play. But yeah, I think he will definitely play like second pairing minutes, and maybe even play top pairing at some points. They'll test out the lineup when it comes to Hamonic, but they gotta sign him first. So this may be pointless of what I'm saying here, but they gotta sign him first. But I think they definitely will because they need another defender. Goaltender Braden Holtby. Braden Holtby will definitely probably play the starter role. I gotta admit that I was thinking Demko would, but I think Braden Holtby's more than likely that starting goaltender. Holtby got criticized a lot there. For the start of the season, everything, how he did in Washington last season. I mean, he didn't play terrible. I'll be honest there. He didn't have as good of a seasons as he had in other seasons, and to his standards, he didn't play well. But I thought with his winning record, he played all right, okay? He played all right. I mean, he did have a good Capitals offense, a good Capitals defense in front of them, though. So, take that what you will. But yeah, I think Holtby's a good acquisition for Vancouver. And then this one's probably one of the most underrated additions for the entire offseason. Defenseman Nate Schmidt. She's walking around. So yeah, Nate Schmidt, I think, will definitely probably play top pairing minutes. I'm very hyped to see what Nate Schmidt's going to do. Nate Schmidt's a great chemistry guy. He's good defensively, good offensively, all that good stuff there. And I'm pretty excited to see what he's going to do for Vancouver on that top pairing. Anyways, now on to the offensive projected lineup here. I've got to move over here for a second here. Left wing side, JT Miller, Tanner Pearson, Anton Roussel, Tyler Mott, and then you have Furland and Bartici as your fill-in guys. Center core there, you have Elias Pettersson, Bo Horvat, Adam Gaudette, and Jay Beagle, along with Zach McEwen. And then on the right wing side there, you have Brock Besser, Jake Bertanen, Louis Eriksson, and Brandon Sutter. So yeah, that's your core there. Top 6 of Miller, Pettersson, Besser, and then Pearson, Horvat, and Virtanen. Good offense. I think Virtanen does get a bit underrated at times. I'm gonna say that. Canucks fans are gonna rage at me. Yes, he does make some bad plays, but he does score a good amount of goals each season. So I will give him that. And that top 6 was great. Miller, Pettersson, Besser. Miller probably one of the best acquisitions that Vancouver's gotten. I think that will definitely be a big offensive line there. And yeah, Pettersson's on his last year of his contract too, so that's a worrying thing. Next season with Cap, we'll definitely make more videos on that as well as we move closer towards the free agency for next year. Then you have Pearson, Horvat, Virtanen, good offensive line there. Bottom 6 of Roussel, Gaudette, Eriksson, and then Mott, Beagle, and Sutter. Another good depth, and good offense there too. I think Gaudette will definitely play. Gaudette will play pretty well. I have a lot of faith in him. And then I'm pretty optimistic about Roussel and Mott, too. I'm pretty optimistic of what they're going to do in Vancouver. But yeah, I look at this team and I get pretty excited. I think there maybe is some more work to be done. Maybe they need to bring in one more bottom pairing forward. But I think that, with the moves that they made, this team has done fairly well, honestly. I mean, I've given credit to Jen Benning a lot. But yeah, I will give it to credit to him here. I thought he made some pretty good acquisitions. On to your defense now. Starting off on the defensive side, lefty, you have Quinn Hughes, Alexander Edward, and Ueo Levy, and then you have Rathbone as your fill-in guy. On the right D side there, you have Nate Schmidt, Travis Hamonic, if he signs, Tyler Myers, and Jordy Benz. So let's go pairing by pairing. Hughes and Schmidt, I think that's going to be a great pairing. Hughes, great offense. And yes, he is the other one on an expiring contract. Nate Schmidt as well. I'm excited to see what he's going to do for Vancouver. Pretty underrated pickup. Then you got Edler and Hamonic, who is a pretty solid second pairing lineup there. And then you have Ueo Levy and Myers. And then you have Rathbone and Benz. So this is a pretty good depth on the defense. I have a lot of faith in Tyler Myers. Ueo Levy, I think, will play pretty well next season. The defense looks great. I think I'm hyped up for the defense. The bottom pairing may show a little bit of desire, but I think that, nonetheless, this team looks great on that front. And I mean, this team who lost a lot of key defenders. I'm trying to think of one right now. They lost Troy Stetcher and Chris Tanev, who are pretty good top pairing guys. But I think they gained They gained enough guys back, and they have enough young guys coming up to the point where they can actually let go of those guys. And it's a good thing when it comes to Vancouver for that. I mean, sucks that they left Troy Stetcher and Tanev, but it had to happen. On the goaltending side, there are things. You have Braden Holtby on the starting goaltender side and Thatcher Demko as your backup. And then you have DiPietro as your third goalie, who, in all honesty, I don't think you should let go of him. He actually was playing pretty stellar, in all honesty, for the Utica Comets of the Vancouver Canucks affiliate. So yeah, you got Holtby and Demko as your tandem. Holtby needs somewhat of a bounce back. I thought he played pretty well last season, though. But yeah, I think Holtby will definitely have a bounce back in Vancouver. Thatcher Demko, we only have a small sample of him, but in a season where your backups are pretty important, I think he will definitely get his chance to shine in the regular season, and we'll see if those 3 games in the playoffs were just a fluke. I highly doubt they were, though, because Demko's been playing pretty impressive for the past few years in Utica, and then, you have DiPietro as well. So, the offense looks good. Maybe they want to bring in one more guy there, though. The defense looks good as well, and then the goaltending, if Holtby can bounce back and Demko can bring the stuff that he had from the playoffs to the regular season, this team is looking pretty good on that aspect. Finally, now we move on to the playoff prediction. Do I think the Vancouver Canucks will make the 2021 Stanley Cup playoffs? And the answer is yes. I have them as one of the third or fourth teams making the playoffs in that North, aka Canadian division. Yeah, I have them as one of those top 4 teams. Vancouver fans might get pretty optimistic about what your team's going to do. I'm optimistic as well. Maybe I'm a little bit optimistic about the bottom pairing offense because I look at this and I say maybe they want to bring in one more guy on that center or left wing core to really help out this team. But the team still looks good nonetheless. The defense will hold out most likely. Hughes will play well. Schmidt, I think, will hold his ground. Hamonic, if he gets signed there, that brings you a lot of depth. And then you have Holtby and Demko as your goaltending tandem. Excited to see what that's going to do as well. But yeah, I think this team, nonetheless, is in a good spot right now. I think they can maybe pull some more assets together and make this team much better. We'll see how, some guys do. Canucks fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please go make sure to leave a like and subscribe button as we try and get to 700 subscribers by June of 2021. Thank you all for the constant support. And I will see you guys in the next video later today. We might do a news time. I'm not exactly sure. I'm planning on doing one, but it depends on how much news we get. But yeah, I'll see you later today for the Vegas Golden Knights season preview.